Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. This is my paper pumpkin alternative video number 5 for December 2022's paper pumpkin, which was called Good Things Come in Small Packages. This is the instruction flyer sheet, and y'all know I haven't done really any of them. I'm not sure how many videos will be in this paper pumpkin for December, but and my whiteboard has other information on it, which I'm going to do a video on it. So that's what I had to use. Today we are going to make this gorgeous card. I was thinking of what could I do that'd be different using some pieces that most would throw away. So these were the add-on for December's kit, the cards and envelopes, and you can see this. So this was using the Wildlife Wonder, and I used the fox and You Mean So Much to Me. You could put sending birthday wishes. There's so many sayings you could do in here, but I'm leaving the inside blank. I just did some of those little wildflowers I created, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made this beautiful little card, and it was so simple. So I'm going to set that up here for inspiration, and like I said, I'm using the wolf and You Mean So Much to Me. And then from our paper pumpkin kit, I'm using these two elements and this element. We're going to be cutting this off, okay? And then we'll get to the other measurements after we get this done. Now, I have here, now forget my reference number is to a medical issue I'm dealing with. We need to cut our windows of this to 3 by 3 1/2. So I started out just getting this, butting it right up to the edge. I just use my finger to push it there and cutting it off. Then it is like 3 1/8, and I wanted to do it in an even 3 1/2. So I cut 1/8 of an inch off on that side. I turn it around, line it up with 3 right there, and I give it another trim, and then this is recycling. So I just cut those little strips off. And so now this window piece measures 3 1/2 by 3. And I think the top might need a little shimmy off the top to make it fit on our basic gray piece. Yes, it just needs that little tiny sliver. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to color that. And how I chose to do this, if I can find my sheet, you can see it already has some green on it. I'm using Garden Green. And the reason being is because the card base is Garden Green. Garden Green, I believe, was also the stamp spot in here. So I took my sponge dauber and I didn't daub off. I just daubed darkly on the corners and just went along like so. So the center dark, and then I filled in corner dark and started patting straight up and down, okay? We're not smearing, we're not smudging, we are just sponging straight up and down. I like that little bit of a dappleness that it gives to the paper. So now I'm going to stamp off because I made a mistake and I didn't continue going. Stamping off to fill in the middle. We're just coloring it in. Gonna need a little bit more. And that is how quick and simple that is. And I like that it's not, you know, perfect. It's got this little bit of texture look to it. But we're not done with this. So I'm going to show you. That's what we just created. I'm going to set that aside. Now, let's see. This piece I'm using the back side to stamp my sentiment. And we're going to stamp You mean so much to me. And then we're going to fussy cut this out real quick. And that's because I want to stamp all that wildflowers in and around this. So I'm thinking, yep, we don't need to do anything else with the garden green. We will be using that sponge dauber without re-inking it here in just a second. So let me show you. We are just fussy cutting. And when I fussy cut, I like you to know that I'm fussy cutting. So I kind of move the paper around. I want you to know that I meant this not to be perfect. I meant it to be curvy-wurvy. And there we go. Now we're going to take that sponge dauber without re-inking it. And we are just flicking along the edge. Hold it at a little bit of an angle. And just touch the edges. Brush it on there. And it's just going to color those edges in. So that is all there is to that. Next, we are bringing in Memento black ink. And we are going to stamp the wolf. And this is so gorgeous. You really, I'm telling you, I was amazed. You really don't even need to color this guy in. He is so gorgeous. But I added just a little bit of coloring. So I'm putting him to the right side. Sorry. My camera's not where it normally is. I am putting him to the right side of my place, and I'm bringing him down a bit. The rock will be cut off some. But there's my wolf. In fact, he might be over a little too far, but it's still going to work out. I just won't have any flowers on this side. I'm giving it a second to sit there because I want to make sure it's well inked in. And look how gorgeous that is. It really is beautiful. I'm telling you, you don't need anything on there. But I went ahead next and I brought in my smoky slate. Now I'm going to tell you, I didn't use the dark. I just went with the light. I am not a color expert, but I took my smoky slate light and I'm just coloring in. I left his eye white. And I'm doing it very, very light-handed. I don't want this dark. At all. And I'm coloring in his legs. And woo, here we go. Now, I thought about outlining this with blue, but I didn't need to. The image is so gorgeous. It doesn't need any help to pop, but you could. So next I brought in the crumb cake, and I'm only using the light. And this is for my rock. So I'm just coloring that. You could get in here and do, you know, more with it if you wanted to do some shading, but I didn't want to. I like the simplicity of this. So next we have our two images. We are going to be using this little floral image, and we're going to be using the Stamp and Write markers. And the colors I chose for this are crumb cake, rich razzleberry, and garden green. The garden green, of course, ties in the rest of the colors. First, I started with the flower stem and the petals, and you really should try to use the brush edge, not the tip, as coloring on the markers will kind of ruin your tip. So there's one. I'm going to leave that off because we're going to be doing this a whole bunch of times. So there we go. And this is quick, easy. I should left the lid off, but it's okay. And then the little rock base, and this takes no time. So we're going to start down here first. We're going to do one dark. First step, we're going to come here. I'm going to huff on it, which is just breathing on the stamp, and I'm going to come in there. So now we're going to redo this once again, starting with my garden green. And literally, this is so easy, y'all. Just swiping the tip of this over on it. So we need one in the middle and one down here. And I'm going to huff and do another one. And then we're going to do another dark solid. First generation, second generation, third generation. That's what that is called. But we don't need to be technical here. We're playing. In fact, I haven't done a Let's Play video in a long time. I need to do one. Just find something and throw some stuff on the table and see what we can create. So here's my dark. Now I'm not going to waste that ink, so I'm going to huff on it. And I have literally this little torn piece of paper here. I am going to bring that up against here, and I'm going to add a little bit of those flowers up there because I put them too far over. Oh, I should have gotten some green on there. Let's see. I didn't get enough of the green. There. Now you can see a little stem of the green, but we need to fill that in on the other side. Now leave that off if I can remember to do so. Just quickly. I mean, literally there isn't a whole lot. So once again, I'm still using the same little piece. I'm going to move that one out of the way. And I am just, you know, I'm not trying to be perfect here. I want it to look like there's flowers behind him. He's in a meadow waiting to go on the hunt for the evening hunt. Ooh, no green on that one there. So we're going to have to redo that. Just pressing it down. There you go. So we're going to do it again. So I'm going to start with the purple, rich raspberry purple, the green, and the crumb cake right down here at the bottom, though a lot of that bottom isn't even going to show. So next I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put a second one, do a little huff, and I'm going to cover up this bit of a paw, a little bit there. I'm going to go again. There. Now we have, he is still in the field of flowers. But we were going to do the inside of our card and our envelope the same way. So you're going to see me do this a whole bunch of times. And you get the idea of just how easy this is. And I'm literally just scribbling on the stamp, the ink. Just not trying to do it perfectly. Left hand corner. There we go. There's our envelope. I just dropped something down on the floor. That's all right. So our card base is one of our add-ons. I'm going to move this aside and give it, where's my bone folder? Like that. Okay. So I just wanted to give it a crease before I got in here. And we're going to repeat said process a couple more times. So garden green for the stems. And if you're wondering, no, I would not use blends on this, doing this. I would use the water-based Stampin' Write markers. This is what they were great at before the blends came into being. So I'm going to do one in the center, and one there, and I'm going to do just the top now, because I don't want the whole image. Missed a little bit there. I want to do a solid one down here, and I'm going to add some more ink to it. And a little bit right there. That is the inside of our card, and I can put the lids now on my markers. So Now we're going to assemble this card. I'm going to show you how I made this great knot. Okay, so this piece here needed to be 3 by 3.5. So it's 3 by 3.5. That gave me a piece of basic gray at 3.5 by 4 this way. So 3.5 this way, 4 this way. And now we're going to simply glue this on in the center. I'm going to use my little IV bottle. Maybe. Just adding the glue. You could use the little strips, dimensional strips, and make this pop up and make the panels recess, but I didn't want to. I really like them popped out on top. So there's that. Now we are going to use our dimensionals to place the top one. The bottom one is just going to simply set in. 2, 3 is going to do it for the wolf image. So just in the center, 2 and 3. Okay, so he now is going where we originally popped him out of here. There you go. This one is going to get glued down. It's just going to add a bit of interest to the card. And plus the "you mean so much" sentiment that we fussy cut is going to get popped up on many dimensionals. And I'm kind of looking at it wondering, yeah, I got a little crooked, but it's gonna stay. It's gonna be fine. Okay, so I'm grabbing my minis in "You Mean So Much." And we are gonna do 1, 2, and 3 across this one. And it's gonna go in the center, or did I do it in the center? Pretty much. You can bring it down. I put it in the center. It's up to you. So that is all there is to that. Now, like I said, this are the same basic gray. You can get it in the combo pack too. I think has this, but this came with the kit. Oh, it looks like Smoky Slate's in the combo pack, but this came with Night of Navy a long time ago. And what I'm doing is I'm measuring how much that I need just to wrap around the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. Now I'm going to do this 3 times. So there's 2 and here's 3. Now I want to keep it nice and straight. Now I'm going to put just a very, very loose knot on one end. And I do mean loose because I want it to be very soft, so I'm not pulling tightly. And then you can see how pretty that is. It really does add. And it seems to me, let me see. Am I going to have enough? I should. Let me get my... I could move the knot over. If you're like me and you think you need to move it over, just start to undo it a bit. Just wiggle it down a bit, just a little bit. And that is going to be that simple, and I don't need any more glue, so let me put the top on it. We're going to use the handy dandy Scotch tape. Yes, we are. So I'm trying to get all of these to lay flat. So that's what I'm after, if you're wondering, what the heck is she doing? Okay, so I'm going to lay them, want it about right there. Now I'm sliding it off my tabletop so I can pull it over, keeping them all together, and I'm adding my Scotch tape to it. Now I'm going to be adding a dimensional on the back of this. That's why it's okay to use the Scotch tape. The trick is this one here, you just have to make sure you keep all your twine straight. And like I said, do not pull hard. If you pull hard, you're going to make that knot really tight and it won't look so pretty. You want a loose knot. It makes it very soft. And there you go. It just adds that little bit of visual interest on the card. So we need to use dimensionals. One there, like I said, we're going to be putting one on the string here. So there's 6, 7, and 8 just in the center there, just to make sure that it's got some stability. I don't need to cover it totally in dimensionals, but it does need a bit. Okay, let me wipe those off. Bring in my card. Let's not put it upside down. And we are just centering it the best you can in the middle. And there is the card. It is all that simple. It took all of 21 minutes. This is our coordinating envelope. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love this card. I love the stamp set. And yes, they are made with using some of the Paper Pumpkin products. I'm having a bit of a hard time with the stamps in the stamp set. There's nothing for backgrounds really. So I had to come up with something different. This is using the add-on with it, and I absolutely love it. I hope you do too. If you do, would you give me a thumbs up? Would you make a comment and let me know? And I hope you come back and visit me in my Wonderland. Bye-bye now.